Good morning, student. So today we are going to study our next disease, that is amoebiasis. Okay, that amoebiasis disease is included in the protozoans. Means their parasite is the protozoan phylum. Parasite belongs to the protozoan phylum. Okay, so amoebiasis is caused because of the parasite. Name of that parasite is Entamoeba histolytica. Remember that name, that Entamoeba histolytica. Okay, that Entamoeba histolytica including the phylum, that is protozoans. Okay, that's why amoebiasis including the protozoan disease. So parasite is Entamoeba histolytica, but where they found or where they infect into the human body? So that amoebiasis is infection occur in the human body in gastrointestinal tract. Okay, gastrointestinal tract. That amoebiasis is also called as the amoebic dysentery. What is the meaning of dysentery? Dysentery means the intestinal inflammation of colon. Colon is the part of digestive system. When inflammation occur on that colon, that symptoms is found in most of the amoebiasis. That's why that amoebiasis is called as the amoebic dysentery. Okay, and near about 15% of the population of India are suffering from that disease, that is the amoebiasis. Okay, so it is very common in India. Mode of transmission, कशाच्या थ्रू amoebiasis हा ट्रान्सफर होतो? So mode of transmission is feco-oral route. You should remember here, feco-oral route. What is the meaning of that? Feco means fecal matter, stool किंवा undigested matter which are go outside the body. डायजेस्टिव्ह सिस्टीममध्ये शिकलो होतो आपण की अनडायजेस्टेड फूड जे बाहेर पडतात त्याला आपण फिकल मॅटर, स्टूल हे म्हणतो. ओके, अँड दिस इज द फिको. That feco contain or fecal matter contain the one of the stage of that Entamoeba histolytica. या पॅरासाइटची कोणती तरी एक स्टेज ही त्या फिकल मॅटरमध्ये असते, त्या इन्फेक्टेड पर्सनच्या फिकल मॅटरमध्ये. अँड दॅट फिकल मॅटर is contaminated with water, food, or by that mechanical carrier and transport towards the human body by their mouth. It is called as the feco-oral route. Okay, so fecal matter मध्ये त्याचे स्टेजेस असतात. त्या Entamoeba histolyticaची स्टेज असते फिकल मॅटरमध्ये. त्या फिकल मॅटर विच इनडायरेक्टली कॉन्टॅमिनेटेड विथ हाऊसफ्लाय. हाऊसफ्लाय इज द मेकॅनिकल कॅरियर. मेकॅनिकल कॅरियर म्हणजे की हाऊसफ्लायच्या बॉडीमध्ये पॅरासाईटच्या स्टेजेस नाही आहे, ही जस्ट कॅरी करते. कॅरी म्हणजे कशी की तिच्या बॉडीला अटॅच होता येते, हाऊसफ्लायच्या बॉडीला अटॅच होत आहे. व्हेन हाऊसफ्लाय और कॉक्रोचेस फीड ऑन दॅट फिकल मॅटर ॲट दॅट टाईम, ती एखादी स्टेज जी आहे Entamoeba histolyticaची ही जी फिकल मॅटरमध्ये ऑब्झर्व होते, ती स्टेज हाऊसफ्लायच्या लेग्सला किंवा विंग्सला अटॅच होते. अँड व्हेन दॅट हाऊसफ्लाय फीड ऑन अवर फूड और वॉटर ॲट दॅट टाईम, ती जी स्टेज आहे Entamoeba histolyticaची जी की हाऊसफ्लायच्या लेग्सला किंवा विंग्सला अटॅच होती, ती फूड किंवा वॉटरमध्ये मिक्स होऊन जाते. And indirectly when we eat or drink that food or water, they can indirectly enter into our body, okay, by mouth. That's why it is called as a feco-oral route. Okay, so housefly is the mechanical carrier for that amoebiasis, and it is also transmitted the parasite from fecal to that food and water, as we told us. Contaminated food and water, most of the time dirty hands. Okay, dirty hands is responsible to spreading that amoebiasis. Okay, so आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये ते कसे एंट्री करतात, लेट अस सी. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हॅव टू नो द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ दॅट Entamoeba histolytica. की Entamoeba histolytica दिसतंय कसं, त्याचं स्ट्रक्चर कसं आहे. देन त्याचे इन्फेक्टिंग स्टेज लाईक प्रोपोझॉइड्स आहे, सिस्ट आहे, त्यांचं स्ट्रक्चर. सो लेट अस सी Entamoeba histolytica. It is somewhat cylindrical or rounded in structure, okay, and which the cell is divided into two types, that is the ectoplasm and that endoplasm. Okay, ectoplasm consists of a whitish layer, that ectoplasm is there. Okay, That ectoplasm is consist of at one end is the pseudopodia. हा जो pseudopodia आहे हा एक्स्ट्राचा पार्ट आहे. The pseudopodia is act as the locomotory organ. सपोज या एंटामिबा हिस्टोलिटिकाला वन प्लेसपासून दुसऱ्या प्लेसकडे जायचं आहे, मूवमेंट करायची. सो हाऊ कॅन इट मूव? सो इट मूव विथ द हेल्प ऑफ दिस pseudopodia. Okay, so pseudopodia is the locomotory organ which is made up from ectoplasm. Okay, now endoplasm. See here that endoplasm consists of that white water like drop like structure is there. Okay, this, can you see this? This is called as the food vacuole. Okay, that food vacuole is useful because to store the food in that food vacuole at the critical condition. Then this black structure, can you see here? This black structure is the ingested RBCs are there. Okay, and centrally placed nucleus is there. So this is the simple structure of this Entamoeba histolytica. In that Entamoeba histolytica, two stages are there, that is the excistation and encystation. Excistation means when that amoeba cover or formation of cyst around them. एक cyst layer, thin protective layer स्वतःच्या भोवती तयार करणं त्याला म्हणतात encystation. Okay, this is a cyst, encystation, and which consists of these 4 nuclei is here. Okay, 4 nuclei आहेत, and because of that that cyst is called as the quadrinucleated cyst. Okay, when that cyst is breakdown, when the cyst is breakdown, the process is called as the excistation. After excistation, the tropozoids are come out. त्याच्यामधून tropozoids बाहेर येतात. Okay, so these are the important stages of that Entamoeba histolytica. And how they infect the human body? Let us see. So when that mature cyst, means here is the quadrinucleated cyst. Can you see here the 4 nuclei? Okay, so these quadrinucleated cysts which are present in the fecal matter of that infected person. Infected personच्या fecal matter मध्ये ही ते cyst stage होते. Okay, and if that fecal matter is contaminated with water, food and come into the human body आणि ती आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये एंटर होते फूड किंवा मग ड्रिंक थ्रू. ओके, व्हेन दॅट मॅच्युअर quadrinucleated cysts एंटर इंटू द ह्युमन बॉडी अँड प्लेस इंटू द, म्हणजे ती कुठे एंटर होणार? अप टू द इंट्रा किंवा गॅस्ट्रिक ट्रॅक. ॲट दॅट टाइम इंटरस्टिशियल ट्रॅक इथे गेल्यानंतर दॅट cyst आर गेट एक्सिस्टेशन. ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ दॅट एन्व्हायरमेंटल कंडिशन. गॅस्ट्रिक लेवल असल्यामुळे दॅट cyst आर गोइंग टू एक्सिस्टेशन. ॲज आय टोल्ड यू, एक्सिस्टेशन मीन्स breakdown of that cyst wall. Okay, so excistation is occur into the small intestine. After that small intestine, the tropozoids are released. When they release, they are go towards the large intestine. या येलो पार्ट हा जो दिसतोय तो आहे लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन. सो दिस tropozoids are passed toward the large intestine. After reaching to the large intestine, what happened? The tropozoids are multiplied. Okay, some tropozoids are as it is in the large intestine. जसे आहे तसेच राहतात काही, but some of the tropozoids are multiplication are there occurs. Multiply होतं. परत ते encystation फॉर्म होणार. म्हणजे encystation means formation of cyst wall around themselves because to protect from the environmental condition. जास्त कोल्ड किंवा टेम्परेचर जास्त असले की ती cyst wall त्यांना ब्रेक नाही होत, त्यांना कवर करते किंवा मग प्रोटेक्ट करते. ओके, सो सम tropozoids are multiplication occurs within that and they form into the different stages. See here, each stage. After that, next is 1 nuclei is there, then 2 nuclei, then 4 nuclei, and up to the 4 nuclei get mature. It is the quadrinucleated That is a 4 nuclei here. So it is the quadrinucleated cyst is formed. Okay. So as you know that quadrinucleated cyst is formed, that cyst is go backward or passes toward the feces. The feces through ही cyst बाहेर फेकली जाते. But what happened that tropozoids, ही जी tropozoids आहे, it is present in the large intestine. So these trophozoite stage in the inner side of that body or inside, it is very harmful to the body. Why? Because these trophozoites, as you know, it is present in the large intestine. Large intestine consists of the microvilli on their wall, and that wall consists of microvilli, and microvilli consist of the blood vessels. Okay, so through that blood vessels, the trophozoites enter into the liver. They damages the liver. Then again they enter into the lungs. They damages the lungs, and lastly they enter into the brain also. They also affect on the brain. Which stage? That trophozoite stage. Okay, so that's why some trophozoites are as it is in the large intestine, and some trophozoites are going to multiplication by themselves and convert into the quadrinucleated stage, and that stage is passes towards with the passes in the feces form. म्हणजे here is a quadrinucleated stage, and that stage are passed through the feces. The feces through the stages बाहेर फेकल्या जातात. Sometimes that feces matter consists of that trophozoites also. फक्त सिस्ट किंवा क्वाड्रिन्युक्लिएटेड सिस्टच बाहेर नाही पडत, कधी कधी ट्रोपोझॉइड्स पण त्यासोबत बाहेर पडतात. बट व्हॉट हॅपन, ट्रोपोझॉइड्स कॅन नॉट सर्वाइव इन द outer environment. Why? Because cyst, having the cyst wall is there. Okay, but that trophozoite does not have any cyst wall. So because of that, they can easily killed by or destroy when they remove the body cells. Okay, but whenever they are present within the body, they are damages to the different part of the body. Okay, so this is the different stages of that amoebiasis in the body cells. So which is the infecting stage of amoebiasis? So here is the quadrinucleated cyst. Inside the body, which is the infecting stage? So inside the body is the that trophozoites is there. Okay, why? Because trophozoite damages the liver, lungs, and even brain also. Okay, so this is the life cycle of amoebiasis. Okay, so what happened when that quadrinucleated cyst enter into our body? So it gives the symptoms. So which symptoms? See here. So gastrointestinal infection of that amoeba may or may not be symptomatic and can remain latent in an infected person for several years. It means that की जेव्हा हा अमिबिओसिस किंवा क्वाड्रिन्युक्लिएटेड सिस्ट एंटर करतो बॉडीमध्ये, ते एंटर केल्यानंतर काही दिवसामध्ये पण त्याचे सिम्पटम्स नाही जाणवत, पण तो स्टील आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये सिस्ट असते. ओके, मीन्स जसं मी सांगितलं की दॅट स्टेज, ओके, दॅट ट्रोपोझॉइड्स, वेन दॅट ट्रोपोझॉइड्स रिलीज आफ्टर द स्मॉल इंटेस्टाईन, पण ते आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये एंटर केल्यानंतर लगेच सिम्पटम्स नाही दाखवत. ओके, स्टील इन अवर बॉडी, but they did not get any symptoms to the human body. Okay, amoebiasis is the estimated to cause, म्हणजे नियर अबाउट पूर्ण वर्ल्डमध्ये 70,000 लोक मरतात बिकॉज ऑफ दिस अमिबिओसिस. ओके, कारण त्याचे सिम्पटम्स लवकर दिसत नाही. अँड व्हॉट इज द माइल्ड सिम्पटम्स इज दॅट द डायरिया टू द डिसेंट्री. डायरिया मीन्स we know that dysentery means the intestinal inflammation of that colon. Okay, but diarrhea means the loose motion. In short, loose motion, watery stools are passes with mucus and blood in the fecal matter. Okay, mucus and blood ला सोबत घेऊन fecal matter, that is a loose motion in short. Okay, and here is say that a diarrhea to the dysentery with the blood and mucus in the stool. Okay, if the parasite reaches the bloodstream and it can spread through the body. As I told you that propozoids are reaches towards the liver. What happened in liver? So in liver they causes amoebic liver abscess. When that propozoids enter into the liver, they damage the liver and causes amoebic liver abscess. Means that swelling occurs on that liver and it get accumulate with the pus, and that is called as the hematomegaly. Okay, so you should remember that when the propozoids enter into the liver, damage the liver and causes the amoebic liver abscess. What is the meaning of abscess? Abscess means that it gets swelling of that liver and which accumulate the pus within that liver. Okay, and when no symptoms are there, suppose the person cannot show any symptoms, then also the person is the carrier. Why? Because they are having that propozoid within, that cyst within that human body, means it is the carrier. So diagnosis, how can we diagnose? Same like that malaria, but here instead of blood we examine the stool sample, that is the fecal sample. So microscopic examination of that fecal sample. Take the fecal sample of that infected person, add the saline water, get it semi-solid and take 2 to 3 drop into that slide. And again make a thin layer and observe under the microscope. After that you can see under microscope this structure, that is the Entamoeba histolytica, and there is the quadrinucleated cyst. On the basis of that, the doctor easily say that the person is suffering from Amoebiasis. Okay, so this is a microscopic structure of that Entamoeba histolytica and that quadrinucleated cyst. Can you see this? So this is the diagnosis process for the amoebiasis disease. And what is the treatment? So amoebiasis is treated by the use of metronidazole. You should remember these two treatment, that is the metronidazole and the tinidazole, which can be destroyed the Entamoeba histolytica in the digestive tract as well as the other tissues also. Okay, so main important treatment, that's two drugs is there, that is the metronidazole and tinidazole. नेक्स्ट इज द प्रिव्हेन्शन. हाऊ टू प्रिव्हेंट, कसं तू अमिबिओसिस होण्यापासून कसं वाचू शकतो आपण. सो इट इज अ कॉमन थिंग्स, दॅट इज अ वॉश हँड्स विथ हॉट वॉटर, देन सोप, म्हणजे पाण्याने किंवा सोपने आपण हात धुवायला पाहिजे, स्वच्छ करायला पाहिजे आफ्टर युजिंग द टॉयलेट्स अँड आफ्टर चेंजिंग द बेबीज डायपर. देन क्लीन बाथरूम्स, टॉयलेट अँड इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग दॅट अवॉइड द रो व्हेजिटेबल्स. जे की भाजीपाला शेतामध्ये वाढतोय तो ह्युमन फिसेसपासून दूर असायला पाहिजे, किंवा जो व्हेजिटेबल्स तिथे वाढत आहे ते व्हेजिटेबल्स ॲज अ फूड म्हणून यूज नाही करायचं. देन गुड सॅनिटायझिंग इज देअर, व्हेरी युजफुल. अँड सिवेज डिस्पोजल, दॅट फिकल मॅटर स्टूल यू शुड डिस्पोज इज व्हेरी वेल. देन सेडिमेंटेशन अँड फिल्ट्रेशन ऑफ वॉटर टू क्लोरिनेशन. आपण वॉटर ड्रॉप्स यूज करतो पाण्यामध्ये, ते वॉटर ड्रॉप्स टाकायला पाहिजे विच कंटेन द क्लोरीन. दॅट बिकॉज ऑफ दॅट क्लोरिनेशन वी कॅन डिक्रीज द इन्फेक्शन और डिक्रीज द इन्सिडेंट ऑफ दॅट इन्फेक्शन. वन मोर थिंग इज दॅट प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ फूड अँड ड्रिंक फ्रॉम द हाऊस फ्लाय. ॲज यू नोट दॅट द मेकॅनिकल कॅरियर आर हिअर, दॅट इज द हाऊस फ्लाय अँड कॉकरोचेस. सो यू शुड protect food or drink from that mechanical carriers, that is housefly and cockroaches. And cleanness is important at the time of preparing the food in the kitchen, because kitchen contain number of cockroaches and housefly at the time of preparing the food. So if you do all these things, then you can avoid the amoebiasis.